It's game time, we ain't playing with you. It's game time, it's game time, we ain't playing with you. That's how we ball for y'all.
What up, what up, what up, what up? You are rocking with Duke Bob. Yo, thanks for joining for episode 89. Run of applause. Start off saying Happy New Year for everybody. Happy New Year. Yo, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. It's, it's definitely flu season. I get it. But there's definitely some type of talking about some new strain is out. What's it called? Sub clay sub yeah, sub claw, saw the claw case, some new flu virus. Man, I ain't gonna lie, it hit me. It definitely hit me. Yo, I don't know what happened. Went to the mall like Sunday afternoon, got back home, and I went outside with a light jacket. Should have maybe probably just bundled up. Maybe I had it or something, but definitely had me man down for a couple of days. I still had things to do, but it's just I was just not in the best me, still getting over it. So it's definitely felt different too, felt like probably somebody had a foot in my neck almost kind of. But I mean, it's that time. So I used to be the one who judged people who I see walking around with masks, but I ain't gonna judge you now. I ain't gonna judge you now, because you definitely don't want to get sick during this time. It's definitely to start off the year, 2026, 2026. Yo, yeah, man, you gotta definitely, you know, do the right thing, try to protect yourself because there's something definitely going in the air or it's a new strain. And I hate when they always every year they feel like it's a new strain. They always say it's flu season, but I feel like it's just something maybe might be different. And in the news I had talked about, I was like, I'm glad that I
And
had seen something about it. Because I definitely I was not in the right condition, but I was thought it was just me. But they said, out in definitely in New York.
being called the super flu, that's never a good sign, has hit New York with a surge in new cases. The latest data from New York State shows close to 190,000 cases this season, with health officials logging 71,000 new cases, the highest number ever recorded in a single week. Now, this season, the Centers for Disease Control estimates that more than 4.6 million Americans have had the flu, with over 49,000 hospitalizations and 1,900 deaths. It is worth mentioning that according to the CDC, there has been a
I I mean, and I thought it was like, all right, I mean, I did see
There.
stuff around
Hey, it's Gia
other
with
places
NBC
too
Bay
that they
Area. Have
definitely
you
had it
gotten your flu shot?
all
Health
over. So it's
officials are
not
now
just New
warning that
York.
there is a new
You know.
variant that is spreading faster and hitting people harder. The CDC says the new strain is called Subclade K,
Sup,
and it is
okay.
behind 80% of the new flu cases nationwide. Flu is surging across the U.S., and experts say it's taking off faster than usual and hitting especially young children hard. New states reporting high levels of flu include California, Nevada, Missouri, Arkansas, Alabama, and Florida. The CDC says so far this flu season, 81,000 people have been hospitalized and 3,100 have been killed. Health experts expect
Oof.
cases to rise in the next couple of weeks, and they say it's not too late to get a flu shot. They say while it's not as effective for this new variant, it is still effective in preventing illness, hospitalization.
I mean, what happens to when you get a flu shot? When you was a kid, you take that one flu and you never get a flu type of. But now I don't. I mean, I'm still not for getting flu shots and or any of the vaccination and all that stuff. But just try to do the right things. Take the remedies. Take certain medicines that that are healthy, and then definitely gonna protect your immune system. Because yeah, it's that type of season. Especially it's freezing outside. It's crazy. So we definitely gotta protect ourselves. But even enough of all that, getting into some topics, which that is a topic itself. But yo, Trump went ahead and then out of the blue, everybody's talking about him just capturing Venezuelan president and his wife, Nicholas Maduro. I see clips where he was saying they kind of they translated showing him how he was kind of antagonizing Trump, saying, "Hey, come get me, come get me," and Trump stands on business, but is this all about oil? Like, what is this all about? Is it about respect? Is it about oil? Because now the way he was running his country basically was like a dictatorship. It's basically he was in charge like 12 years. 12 years he was already in charge. So I'm seeing the people from Venezuela celebrate that they did capture him. So I guess he was running a lot of corruption. But like I just don't like when we always go into other countries and do things that we don't know if that's gonna have an effect on us. But if it's gonna benefit them, it looks like some of the people are gonna be happy and some people are not. But if it's about helping their country out, that's cool. But is it about us just gaining more oil and being a bully? That's what people saying. I mean, I don't know because now he's talking about Mexico, watch out. He's talking about Colombia, watch out. So Trump definitely be on his on his Trump. Like he be standing on business. And then the Congress like nobody really discussed this. Like, but you got the way they went in and capture him, how they kind of like put a distraction of just airstriking a certain area and then capturing him on another certain area. They must have had to be watching him for a while, because that has to be a plan coordinated in place to just move in and move out like that in one strike. So they definitely been watching him, and I guess he just wasn't playing ball. I guess because I don't know, was it the last straw that he ended up having a meeting with China and also having a meeting with Russia. So Trump looked at that like, well, what's going on there? we you know we gotta get you out of there. We gotta get you out of there. We don't know what you're about to do. But now Trump saying, yeah, now we're in charge. So are we planning to stay over there to run? I don't think so. Whoever's Trump just said whoever's behind him can handle it in and get in some type of order. But hey, it's their country. Somebody Venezuelan should be running their country, not the U.S. running their country. I mean, we got other things to deal with. But he's definitely be talking like, hey, like nobody gets order. Mexico, Colombia might be next. Cuba, like he's definitely not playing. He's definitely not playing. And nobody really see it, but he's letting you know.
Run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. And it has to be judicious because that's what we're all about. We want peace, liberty, and justice for the great people of Venezuela. We're going to have our very large United States oil companies, the biggest anywhere in the world, go in, spend billions of dollars, fix the badly broken infrastructure, the oil infrastructure. We're not afraid of boots on the ground if we have to have. We had boots on the ground last night at a very high level, actually. We're not afraid of it.
Yeah, Trump being Trump, man. He's just being who he is, standing on business. And our allies see, their allies see that, and definitely, I'm sure China seen that. I don't know how truthfully it was, but seeing them coming back to New York now, I seen the memes and the jokes like why they had him in the Nike Tech suit. Um, but he's all he's safe. They didn't even ship him up to they said somewhere in Walla somewhere, and they brought him to New York. They're saying they want to pay for his crime, for him to pay for his crime with the drug um, distribution throughout the whole country, um, and also different things that he was responsible of when he was running the country. in Colombia. From the drug to weapons. That's what they're gonna try to charge him with. But kidnapping, that's president kidnapping another president. Oh man, just hope he knows what he's doing. And if it's gonna benefit, 'cause he's saying they're gonna go and put billions of dollars for the oil. He said the way running it wasn't right. We can go in there and make it even better. Make it better. So we'll see if he actually goes in and makes it better, or he just kind of just benefits it for us. But I do see other people from Venezuela being happy about their decision. So it's got to be something. A lot of people in their country didn't like what was going on. I hate that we always got to step in and kind of clean it up. But there's some things in the country that is definitely unspoken that was going on that needs to be changed. So we'll see. We'll see what happens next. We'll see if we have any problems moving forward. We don't want no, like they say, war. We don't want none of that stuff. And I hate when we just go in and take over stuff. Well, hopefully he has a plan, because now you basically you're in charge. So what's the plan? What's the plan moving forward? That's where everybody got to pay attention to. But enough from politics wise. I did see people talk about the Drake and Aiden Ross and act. How all of a sudden I think they got a class lawsuit against State because supposedly they're false, you know portraying that they're winning, but they're playing with the house's money. Put it this way: it's gambling. You know what I mean? If you gamble, see if you're gonna win or you're gonna lose. And even the real, they always say the house wins, but it's still a game. It's still a activity that you participate in, where no, you have the chances of losing, and then you also have the chance of winning. They're gonna have to really prove all the people that lost money and how it's really affecting them. They're just using them because they're the people who promoted the most. They're more high celebrities that they can easily target to just make sure you get some money back from losing. All the money that they put in, they just trying to get it back from losing. So they definitely trying to get all different states together just to come up with some type of conclusion to get some money back. 'Cause they must have really been going crazy in there with that. But I mean, I think it's just part of the game. I'm sure Steak probably has some type of money on the side that if they've been making a bunch of money, they can just go ahead and pay that off and make that go away. But to call it a RICO, RICO charge, they run it up. They definitely capping on there, you know, definitely capping. But it looks like it's not like it's not a criminal. It's just like a civil RICO case. And what could you do? What could you do? But that was just weird how they try to just target, put that out or make it look like, and try to talk about from like streams. They like using it for fake streams and things like that. They always got some BS they trying to put in the headlines, and I don't think they're gonna go. I don't think it's gonna go with that. But talking about Aiden Ross, he's definitely been in the headlines too. But his offensive comments towards the new artist Dolce, you know, put it this way, I just think even like growing up in the hood, you got no respect or no points of going out on women. So that's just pointless. Say what you say and keep it moving, but to keep doubling down on it, it's just not gonna end well because it's still gotta respect. But if you don't like her music, you don't like her music. Her music definitely not for everybody. I'm not a crazy Dolce fan, but I respect her as an artist, just what she does and how she comes out and put things together and brings a different flavor to the artistry. They do your thing. I ain't gonna talk bad about you like that, especially don't disrespect any black women. So that's another touchy subject where you got to just stay close from. You know what I mean? You don't want to, that's not your race. That has nothing to do with you, really. You don't even want to get involved with that because that's just, it doesn't lead anywhere. It doesn't lead very positive. You're supposed to be turning off a new leaf, so you're supposed to be doing better than that. But I seen that they because everybody knew about the whole situation with Adam 22 and Lena the Plug, his wife. How he basically let Jason Love basically have sex with her. Like that's I guess that's that was for money. That was for the he said only on camera. He actually watched it. Now he didn't watch it. They've been running around differently because they've been doing different scenes without him. I don't know if he's there somewhere, but they look like they got some type of chemistry together regardless. But for now, all of a sudden, he just say, yeah, I'm going to turn around. I look at it as like entertainment and money grab. I don't know who, they're supposed to be fighting soon. So I was like, if you definitely want to fight somebody, you definitely might want to fight him. But the permission that in the relationship that you settled against him, I mean, you can't be really mad, because you basically paid him to have sex with your wife, But that was like, oh, that's interesting. How you gonna try to?
It is behind 80% of the new flu cases nationwide.
How you gonna try to put that against?
Flu is surging across.
We'll see. Adam.
He would turn me into a pack. I don't know if I want to do that.
Do you think you would ever fight in the ring with Adam?
It would take a lot of money, and it would probably have to be somebody who I felt like I could actually beat the shit out of. So I don't know. I don't know who fits into that category. They were talking about me boxing Jason Love. He would turn me into a pack. I don't know if I want to do that. So.
But the storyline, that storyline right there, no one's ever seen a storyline that crazy as you and Jason Love.
That was a weird time period. I had like a superpower at that moment where I could say pretty much anything on TikTok or Twitter or whatever, and it would just go nuts. So I felt like I hammed it up as much as I could, but I could have possibly done more.
In terms of you fighting, one day on it.
So by now, I'm sure you guys have all seen the news. Adam 22, aka the 22 Sir, aka the White Truth. I am going to be facing Jason Love on January 23rd in Miami. Very excited. I know what you're thinking, Adam. That sounds insane. You only have 3 weeks to get ready.
Especially
Here's
if
the
you
thing that you guys
don't
aren't
want to fight him.
considering. I've been getting ready my whole life. I've been in the gym. I've been training. Listen, this guy Jason Love, he's big. He's muscular. Kind of looks like one of them Greek statues, minus the whole African-American part. But I got better cardio, I think. And I got heart. Because that dude fucked my wife. So, when I show up in Miami for that fade, the same fade that a certain one-nubbed man wouldn't give me, just know, I'm out for blood.
I don't know. My money's on Jason. My money's definitely on Jason. And he knew in the beginning. He was like, nah, I'm joking. I'm not going to fight him. So we'll see if he actually go through with it and actually fight him. But I don't think he won't. I don't think he won't fight him unless that bag is big. Pause. So we'll see if he actually does that and actually organize it. He said it's for coming up in Miami. So we'll see. We'll see. Talking about fight, 50 Cent always don't hold his tongue. You got a problem, you're gonna let it go. But he had the little issue with the whole, Let's Rap About It podcast. The shout out to them putting that podcast together. Jim Jones, Fabulous, Davies, Mano. It's cool, definitely podcast they got set up, so that's definitely dope. But and they just recently put a whole freestyle together, putting basically 50 Cent's going off on 50 Cent's classic, beats and songs, It was cool, but I think the person who stole the show most is Fabulous. Obviously everybody's like, oh, thanks, Fifth, just for putting a little battery in Fab's back. 'Cause nobody in Fab in a while spit like that, especially off that type of beat. That's classic beat, 50 Cent beat. Well. So yeah, he definitely went bar for bar. But now everybody's like, oh, what's because 50 said, once I get down 2026, once I'm done, because he's did that what is it the Las Vegas performance for New Year's, the day the Bucks, and so but yeah, he didn't have time, but I think he's gonna have time now. But everybody wants him to respond, as in like rapping or, and 50's definitely clever when he raps too, because he always has a story. He kind of talks it out a little bit and then gets into it. But people want him to respond, and see if he responds or not. But it'd be good just to have these type of people. If it's a friendly battle, go back and forth. But since they kind of got your little, they got their little podcast put together, and they all are good rappers. That kind of brings out another G unit. I kind of just want to see if the whole unit gonna jump in it, because Tony Yayo's always ready, and now you have a nice Uncle Murder. He said, yeah, you know, if 50 go in the booth, he say he going right after him. He did say that in his new wrap up that in a minute, but we want to, yeah, we want to see you kind of respond, just to see, it's for fun, just have fun with it. Because he had dropped a record with another artist too, so he's definitely looks like he kind of still be in the studio too, and he's dropped a record too. So everybody want to see it, but it's good to hear Fab. Yeah, he definitely killed that, and I think 50's the type of person he respects the response, because even anybody who dissed him, he always has a friendship or some type of just respect, that he respects the music that they be making. So we want to see what 50 got up his sleeve, because he always got something up his sleeve. So we'll see. But yeah, talking about the whole G Unit, Uncle Murder did he came out with his wrap up 2025. It's like almost damn near 18 minutes or something like that. But he definitely gave it this storyline through all of it. He's always gonna say it in a comical way. At the end of the day, he's like, shit's crazy, it's crazy, it's crazy. He's a wrap up. So he's gonna tell what we've been talked about, what everybody kind of talked about through all these timelines throughout the years, and just put it in his own way. Say what he gotta say. So they always check out Uncle Murder on the wrap up, um, and then what he got going on, and then they always just they was just kept mentioning where they're gonna basically at the end just go check out their podcast, because their podcast is coming out. So it's gonna be interesting to see him and Tony Yayo have their podcast, and see what they're gonna talk about, and how how they're gonna put that together. Because you always see different clips of Tony Yayo on I think the Vlad TV. So he always got his different stories. So they always got different stories being with 50. So we'll see how they put that together. 'Cause at the end of the day, it's work, still work. So if they're gonna enter the podcast world, and put the stamp on what they do, hey, see what they got. See what they got, man. See what they got. So that's always dope to see. Uh, but yeah, man. Definitely. 2026 looks like it's spinning up early. People trying to get into certain things. So we'll see. Definitely been quiet on other things and what people got going on. But hey, that's like you know. But let's get into some motivation. Motivation. I need a motivation. So this one says self care isn't selfish. It's actually a crucial part of being happy, healthy human. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you gotta just take care of yourself. Do the right things to keep yourself feeling good, looking good. Take the proper food calls. Because always say nobody gonna love yourself more than you should love you. So you gotta definitely love yourself. And just try to take care of yourself. Do the proper things to stay around. So definitely, hey, 2026. Round of applause for everybody being here. Definitely that, you know. But yeah, man. This weather definitely got me a little bit. I'm just trying to recover, trying to come back, trying to recover. But I think I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. Short and sweet. But you definitely will see me next time. You know what I mean? So, but in the meantime, between time, you've been rocking with Duke Bob. Peace.